Hi, everyone. This is Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy here. Welcome to my show for this week. It's October 16th already, 2023. Boy, what a great weekend for sky watchers with that beautiful annular solar eclipse. Did you actually get to see it? I'd love to hear if you were in the right place, right time to see the actual ring of fire, or perhaps you saw like most people, I think, a partial eclipse across the American continents. That's North America, Central America, South America. I'm in Montreal, Canada. I got to see it too. Let me show you what I saw from Montreal. There was mostly clouds. I didn't get to see too much, but this is a photo I got, just like a hole in the clouds that I saw, and a little bit of the sun was bitten off. This was just after the maximum eclipse of the partial eclipse from Montreal, and I can tell you it was pretty cool to be able to see it. Let me see it. This is the better close up of it, and you can see it was just a small bite off the disk of the sun, but it was something that was very visible. It was something that we could see easily. I was at an eclipse party being put on by the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada Montreal Centre and local college, John Abbott College. Students were out in force, amateur astronomers with telescopes, and we got to see in between the clouds, very brief glimpses. We were really lucky to be able to see it. And this photograph was actually taken by me with my iPhone 15 Pro Max with handheld, with a eclipse glasses just being held in front of the camera lenses. And then I just snapped away and got a photo. You can see a little bit that darkness on the side of the disk of the sun is the clouds that are hanging all around it, and you can see the beautiful silhouette of the moon around. Again, this was an annular eclipse, and lucky people who were in the right place at the right time got to see it. These are photos taken by my friend Tim D. Benedictus, who's from San Francisco, but went to New Mexico to a balloon festival and was right in the path of annularity. And look at the beautiful set of photos he got. And this was taken with an old little shoot camera, little Panasonic camera from 2016, he says, and he basically stuck the film of an eclipse glasses in front of the camera lens, and it's a point and shoot camera, really, and this is what he was able to get. It was just beautiful seeing the entire sequence. So Tim got just an amazing view. Hats off to him, just gorgeous, and that's what it looked like for people who were along the path of annularity. And so really just a beautiful, beautiful show. And of course, people are asking, well, what's going to happen next? What's next? Of course, there is going to be the big total eclipse on April 8th, 2024, again, gracing the skies of North and Central America. If you're in the right place, right time. Montreal, Canada, where I am, is actually in the path of totality. I can't believe it. It's really lucky. Except the weather in April in Montreal is not that good. We usually get about 60-70% cloudy days in April. So I don't know. Maybe I might be going somewhere south, maybe down to somewhere more sunny like Texas, where this path is cutting across from Texas through Eastern Canada, Atlantic Canada provinces. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with the weather. But that's on April 8th, 2024. And that's a really magical eclipse because it is truly a total eclipse. The entire disk of the sun will be hidden by the silhouette of the moon. So it will get briefly dark, and it's the most spectacular type of solar eclipse. So if you can get your chance to get into the path of totality, do it. It's you won't regret it. It's one of those things that you'll just keep wanting to do. That's what a lot of eclipse chasers out there who are crazy about eclipses actually make vacation plans based around future eclipses. Now, before that, what's really interesting is the celestial mechanics that are at play when we're talking about the moon and the sun and the earth. And what's really interesting is that eclipses come in pairs. And listen to this. So usually 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after a solar eclipse, we see a lunar eclipse. And that's what's about to happen. There is going to be not a full-blown total lunar eclipse. It's a partial eclipse, but let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's my friends at timeanddate.com have a great website, highly recommended. They give great um, tables, viewing tables, and timings for eclipses. I'm going to share this with you guys. But this is what the eclipse will happen. This is on October 28th, 29th. So it's in just 2 weeks from now, a lunar eclipse. And where is it going to be visible? If you look at this map they have here, you can see anywhere that it's red. Wherever it's red, if you're in that red zone on this map, you will see this lunar eclipse. It's actually a penumbral lunar eclipse, meaning that you can see here in this diagram, these are the shadow cones of the Earth, and you can see the moon. This is the moon in the deepest part of this shadow cone. This is the dark shadow cone. If the moon would have been inside this little circle here, the semicircle, if it was inside here, it would have been a total lunar eclipse. But you can see only the edge goes through, and this is the lighter colored outer shadow cone, the penumbral shadow cone of the Earth. So that's where most of the disk of the moon will be. So it's not going to be a very dark, it's a very subtle lunar eclipse, darkening of the full moon that will happen on the 29th. But if you're anywhere in this red zone, you will be able to see it. Now, the best maximum time of that eclipse will be on October 28th at 2014 universal time. So that's 8:14 universal time, okay? That's October 28th 2014 at 8:14 p.m. Universal time. So that would be just after just very late for me. I'm just on the edge here. So basically, this is going to be hard for me to see because in Montreal it's at 4:14. It's not going to be visible for me. You can see, no, it's below the horizon. So I'll only see the end from where I am because I'm located just on the edge here. But if you're anywhere else on the Atlantic side here, on a vast majority of the South American continent, definitely Brazil's part of that there, probably northern Chile, Colombia, some other countries, all of Africa, all of Europe, all of Asia and Australia, and much of the Pacific Basin. This is a fantastic show. Don't miss it if you're in the right place. So again, this is the partial lunar eclipse happening on October 28th, 29th. Mark that down on your calendar. Let me put the link to this page right off the bat into my live stream right here so you guys can actually go and investigate it yourself. That's what you need to do, is to plan out in 2 weeks how to see this partial lunar eclipse, and you'll learn a lot more. So we're basically 11 days, already under 14 days, 11 days, 23 hours, 26 minutes out from the next celestial eclipse. This time it's a partial lunar eclipse. How's that? I think that's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. So why don't we dive into our sky? This is the sky after sunset. Today, Monday, the 16th, October. Love to see you guys there. I see Gina from Connecticut. Welcome. Hi there. Bill, nice to see you from Cornwall. That's great. Oh, you watched my live stream with Astronomers Without Borders, did you, Bill? Well, yeah, it was very cloudy, I'm sure you saw, but some really interesting people that I got to interview. So if you haven't seen those interviews that I did on that live stream, you can check out the recording on Facebook, on the Facebook page of Astronomers Without Borders. Very cool outfit that I work with regularly. Jennifer, great. You're hoping to see it in Southeast Texas on April 8th. Definitely the total lunar eclipse. Lucana from Chicago, welcome. Enrique, hello. Nice to see you from Honduras. Fantastic. The annular eclipse was awesome from here. Great experience. Hey, great that you got to see that. Do share if you have any pictures of the eclipse. Share it on my page, Facebook page. I'd love to see it, and I'm sure most of us would love to see sky photographs. We all love to see those, what people are taking. And of course, Suna from Turkey, welcome. So nice of you to join me, and everyone else. Just do share where you're watching from. Peter from Copenhagen, very nice of you to join. On YouTube, great. Remember, I'm live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and Twitch as well. So wherever you like to watch, whichever platform, welcome. And if you find value in this video, give it a thumbs up, share it, and please subscribe to my channel. It means so much. It allows me to bring these productions every week, these shows every week into your homes, onto your devices for free. I'd love to continue doing that. And by subscribing to my channels, it allows me to bring these to you and gives you some tidbits on what to see. So back to the sky. So here we are on Monday, 16th. This is tonight as we're speaking, as I'm recording. The moon is just popping up above in the southwestern horizon after, of course, being a new moon, being in front of the sun during the annular eclipse on Saturday. And here we are on Monday already. The moon is just peeking up above the southwestern sky. There it is. It's definitely a very, very difficult to see at this point, but let's be patient and wait for the rest of the week, right, guys? So also visible is Arcturus, an orange star in the due west, just after sunset. If we kind of move an hour later, you'll see Arcturus, this beautiful 36 light year distant star shining in the constellation Boötis. Now, Boötis is traditionally an early summer, late spring constellation rising in the east. But look, here we are months later. We've just, we're well into the autumn season in the northern hemisphere. And look at that. We still can see this constellation, but it's sinking fast, right? So if you want to get your views of Boötis with the Arcturus star, that brilliant orange star, you can do it still now. This is a view looking west, just about an hour after sunset. I love this program, by the way, Sky Safari, from my friends at Simulation Curriculum. Wonderful, wonderful software that I like to use. So there it is. There's the animated figure as well for look. And what's really interesting, before I move on, just note this. Can you guys see that if you kind of connect the dots in the main part of the constellation of Boötis, it looks like a ice cream cone or a kite. Some people say it's kite, but I like to look at it. I like ice cream. I like going to an ice cream parlor. To me, immediately my mind goes ice cream cone. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. There's the top of the ice cream and there's the cone. Very easy to see from darker suburban skies, this constellation. And now it's sinking in the west. Try it out. See if you can catch that before it's gone. Well, we've got a viewer from Greece as well. Ronnie from Oklahoma. Sean from Trinidad joining. Welcome, guys. So we're going through the sky. We can see what's really nice. You see that the moon is gone, right? So I showed you it's almost impossible to see right now, the moon. It's very tricky. So it's leaving behind a dark sky. So if I kind of go 2 hours after sunset, you see it. This is a wonderful time this week to see deep sky objects. So that's what I'm kind of want to show you right off the bat here. If we go towards the sky in the southeast, you'll see a very bright yellow star. That's Saturn, and an even more brighter star rising in the east. That one is another planet Jupiter. So you've got a great 2-for-1 deal right now in the late evening skies. Rising in the east, late at night is Jupiter, and off to its far right is Saturn. So again, visible throughout the world, these two planets are really well positioned to be viewed all night long. They're really beautiful. And in between these two planets is the constellation Pisces, the fishes, the zodiacal constellation. Just cool to know. Probably the easiest part of Pisces, if you live in a darker sky, is to see what's called the circlet. Let me show you this. this part here, it's the head of one of the fishes. You can see it forms this circular kind of formation. And it's kind of connect the dots kind of way that you learn these constellations. You can see this circlet right here. These stars are faint from suburban skies. If you have binoculars, they really help in catching this. In an average pair of binoculars, this is kind of like in a wide pair of binoculars, you'll just about see this what's called the circlet, and it's what we call an asterism, like the Big Dipper. It's not a constellation on its own, but it's actually a part of a constellation, and it's just a formation that the human eye kind of puts together as a pattern, right? And we call this the circlet, and it's the head of one of the fishes, of Pisces, the fishes. And again, this is where you're going to find it. It's between Jupiter and Saturn, a little bit closer to the Saturn, I would say. But check it out. If you have a dark enough skies, it's just barely visible to the naked eye from darker skies. Above that, however, above that circlet is this beautiful formation of four stars that look like a diamond. Some people call it the giant baseball diamond in the skies. For those of you in the US and Canada, that might be something more relevant, but it's also known as just the Great Square of Pegasus. This is what I'm talking about right here. These four stars, 1, 2, 3, 4. They form the chest of the flying horse, Pegasus, the mythological flying horse. And it's a really great location to look for deep sky objects. This is an area that's looking outside of the Milky Way or to the edge of the Milky Way in many cases. There's not too many bright stars, right? You'll see, other than Saturn and Jupiter, which remember are planets within our solar system. They're not stars. So not counting those two, there's not many inherently bright stars in this part of the sky. But there are some really cool objects, deep sky objects outside of the solar system. Like, for instance, at the tip of the nose of the horse, the flying horse Pegasus, there's what we call the fly. The Pegasus has a little fly hanging just off his nose, and it's right here. It's called M15, and M15 is a globular cluster. Let me show you close up, get you excited about it first, see how cool it is. Globular clusters are one of my favorite objects to see. If I zoom into it, M15, it doesn't have a very romantic name, but it does look really magnificent in a telescope. Here's a view that you would get, I guess, if you take a picture. It's fainter, but with the eye, looking through the eyepiece of the telescope, but it's pretty much like this. This is what you can expect to see through the eyepiece of a telescope. M15, again, a fantastic object. Let me see, I can tell you how far away it is. It's 34,000 light years away. Here's an actual photograph taken by an amateur astronomer. Isn't this just jaw-droppingly beautiful? I mean, the amount of stars, there's hundreds of thousands of stars compacted into less than 100 light years. This is a round object with hundreds of thousands of stars in this view. It's really incredible. And there it is. You can see where, let me just see if I can actually show you what it looks like from the galactic point of view. There is M15. It's zooming in. I'm going to zoom out. And let me see if I can do this. I don't even know. Let me see. There's the Milky Way. And there's M15. And there it is. You can see where it is. It's really incredible to see. It's kind of like on the edge of the arm of the Milky Way. And it's actually above, or I should say below, the disk of the Milky Way. Can you see that? It's kind of hanging in a halo. That's what globular clusters are. These balls of hundreds of thousands of stars are ancient archaeological sites. They're cosmic archaeological sites that we can see in the sky that are kind of peppering the edge of the Milky Way. That we know of hundreds of them, and they're ancient. The stars are some of the oldest stars that we know of in the Milky Way. So by studying globular clusters like this, astronomers really start to understand the evolution of a galaxy like our home galaxy, the Milky Way. Where did it come from? What kind of stars and what kind of chemistry was did the Milky Way have early in its evolution? Remember, the Milky Way is probably, we're thinking like, 12, 15, 13 billion years old potentially. Might have evolved soon after the Big Bang, which we think happened about 13.8 billion years ago, right? That's what the theories say. So it's really interesting how you, as a backyard sky watcher, can see one of these objects yourself. It's really incredible. So M15, where is this beautiful globular cluster? As I said, it's also called the cosmic fly that's hanging off the nose of the Pegasus, the flying horse. And Pegasus is, as I said, easy way to find is look for this giant square in the sky. Again, this is hanging, where do you look? Late at night, maybe a couple of hours after your sunset, looking towards the east, southeast, in between Saturn and Jupiter. Do you see that? In between Saturn and Jupiter is where you want to look for this giant square. And then what you do is, you can see it's upside down, Pegasus is, and you follow along this fainter group of stars, this line. You see there's a star in this corner here. It's called Markab. Markab is this corner star on this beautiful great square, and then you move to another star next to it. Use your binoculars. It may help you quite a bit. Another, faint naked eye stars that we're looking at, and then another one, a third one. So it's in a row. This is what we call star hopping. This is what we're learning here, folks. This is the way to find things, to actually go ahead and navigate the night sky. And then you kind of turn left a little bit, not quite right angle, but move up to another star, and it's very orange in color. NF is very, very distinct in color, and it's 690 light years away. It's really amazing to be able to see that. And I would recommend this. I would really recommend trying to see this with binoculars. And if you then go off to the edge of this, you can see right there with binoculars a little cotton ball in your field of view. That's what you're going to look for. And I can show you what it looks like. Hold on. Like this. This is what it would look like, right? If you're in binoculars, this is see that it looks like kind of like a cotton ball? And it's definitely not a pinpoint of light like a star. It's definitely something that's easy to find with binoculars. And it's this cotton ball hanging in that dark inkiness of sky. And imagine, it's something, again, how far away? It's like 34,000 light years away. So you're literally looking back in time 34,000 years. It's really incredible. Hold on. I have my dog here. I just have to make sure he's quiet. Hold on. Okay. He hears somebody, so I think he's coming. Hold on. It's okay. Yeah. He's a good boy. Hey, maybe I'll show him to a camera here. Hold on, guys. Look, there's my pup. Here's my doggy. There he is. Say hi to everybody. Yeah, good boy. Yeah, you're saying hi to everybody. His name's Ringo, and he's my buddy. And I have my another buddy here. Come here. He's my other buddy. And I have another one. Two little guys that keep me company here while I do my shows. They're usually very quiet, but somebody's, I think, at the door. Anyway, there you go. Interlude with my pups. But here we go, back to the show, and let me show you. So that is the globular cluster M15. Just so amazing. Do try it out. And again, the key is the Great Square of Pegasus. Now, one thing I also wanted to show you, let's go back to the moon. This is going to be good. What I'm just told you about the Great Square of Pegasus, M15, the fly off the nose of Pegasus, the horse, are good all week long. But if we kind of change the view to later this week and watch what happens with the moon, let me go an hour earlier. There, you can see this is the view by Friday. By Friday, you'll see the moon positioned inside the giant teacup teapot in Sagittarius. This is in the southwestern sky, very low, but that is Sagittarius, a zodiacal constellation. So the moon will be there. It's a beautiful crescent. This is Friday night that you'll see this. And if we move the moon further along, you can see it'll be going by the planet Pluto. No chance of seeing Pluto. Don't even try. It's like magnitude 14. You need a large telescope to spot it. But the moon will be saying hello to Pluto. And by Sunday, it's going to reach what we call the first quarter moon. So Saturday night, Sunday night. This is Sunday night. I would even go by Saturday night when it's near Pluto. Will actually be officially the quarter. Late Saturday night is when it's officially quarter moon. Really beautiful view of the moon like that you can see, and it's a really nice thing to see. There's lots of things with binoculars. Let me show you something here. There's a little map that I created of showing some of the things that you can see. So there's the Apollo. This is first quarter moon, and I've pointed out a few neat things that with a pair of binoculars, even with the naked eye, some of these are visible. Like these dark splotches on the moon that we all see, that we create man in the moon of, those are ancient lava flows that have solidified on the surface of the moon, and they've kind of washed away the craters that we would see on the moon. So these are really neat. You can see the Sea of Tranquility, this one over here in the first quarter moon, that is along the edge is where Apollo 11 landed, the first time humans landed on the moon, right there. And you can clearly see that with even the naked eye. You can make out this dark patch of what we call a mare or sea. This is called the Sea of Tranquility, we've called that. And it's along the edge where we landed. And with binoculars, it's a lot easier. So if you do have binoculars, I highly recommend it. And we have the other mares or seas that are visible as well, like the Sea of Serenity, the Sea of Cold up here. We've got the Sea of Fecundity down here. And of course, along the shadow line here, I highly recommend during the first quarter moon. It's just beautiful to be able to scan with binoculars or a telescope the shadow line. We call that in astronomy the terminator line of the moon, between the fine edge between darkness, night, and day on the moon. And that is where you see beautiful long shadows of different features, like mountains casting long shadows, edges of craters casting those long shadows. I highly recommend it. I can spend hours just cruising along the terminator line of the moon, and the first quarter is great. Again, this is Saturday night that this is visible. Saturday night, looking towards the south in the evening. That's when you'll find the first quarter moon this Saturday night, the 21st of October. Really also very good. And one more thing, I think, let me see if I can bring it in, is we will have the Orionid meteor shower, I think, also appearing. I'm going to have more on this in a post. I won't go into it right now. Just say that I can center it. And I think on the 21st, 22nd is when you're going to be able to see some meteors. I'll post some interesting tidbits about this, observing tidbits, but that's where you'll be able to see it near the constellation Orion, just off of the head of Orion the Hunter. So that's something to look at. Not much. You're not going to see a lot of meteors. We're talking about 10, 15 shooting stars per hour if you're in a dark site, but that's something that's visible around the world. So even if you're in the southern hemisphere, northern hemisphere, it's something you can see. Whew, that's a lot of stuff that I covered in this episode. I'll put sky charts on my platforms so you can go and check it out yourself, all these neat things. I'd love to see your photographs too of the eclipse. Don't forget to share those with me on my timeline. Just tag me. I'd love to see them. They're a lot of fun for everyone to look at. And again, if you find value in this video, Please give it a thumbs up, share it, and also subscribe to my channels. It allows me to bring these free videos every week into your home. Thanks so much for joining me again. I love to see you guys. Thanks for telling me where you were located. Everyone that's there, Matt, Lucana, Sarah, thank you so much. Everyone of you means a lot. You are my stargazing friends out there. It's really fun to be able to do this together. And until the next video, I wish all of you clear skies. Bye-bye.